That was close. It was really, really close. And before I get into this, I'm gonna say this: Nick Foles had an outstanding playoff run last season. He won the Super Bowl. He did well, but Nick Foles is not your starter going forward. He's not. He's not a game changer. He is Nick Foles, Super Bowl MVP, and that's fine because you have a lot of Super Bowl MVPs. You have Jeff Hostetler, you have Doug Williams, you have Trent Dilfer. So let's not get all caught up in Super Bowl MVPs. They won the game. I'm happy they won, but you know the offense is a lot to be desired. Um, Nick Foles was 19 to 34, 117 yards. That's not going to get it done. It really isn't going to get it done. And Zach Ertz had a bad game. He dropped passes. Three passes. Unlike Zach Ertz to drop three passes. Nelson Aguilar, 8 catches for 33 yards. And that RPO nonsense, if you're not throwing the ball in the middle of the field, if you're not getting significant yards, to have 8 catches and 33 yards, that's not good at all. Not good at all. I mean, you have to take some shots. And granted that Atlanta's defense has a good defense and everything like that. Dallas Goddard dropped the ball. Well, he got hit as the ball came loose. Atlanta picked it off and they scored. That was the only touchdown the Eagles defense gave up. But the Eagles offense put the Eagles defense in a lot of vulnerable positions. And at the end of the day, the defense bailed them out because if they didn't bail them out, this game would have been over in the first half. So the Eagles defense played well. They played lights out, and you have to give them credit. You have to give them credit. Jay Jai, he had 62 yards and 2 touchdowns. He didn't get over 100 yards, had 15 carries, but those were the Eagles receivers. Zach Ertz, Nelson Aguilar. Not going to get it. Mike Wallace, they targeted him 3 times, threw a couple of deep balls to him. Couldn't really, get anything with that. But there were over 20 penalties in this game. You cannot win. I mean, this game, over 20 some penalties. 20 some penalties. A lot of personal fouls, a lot of unsportsmanlike conduct calls on both teams. And yeah, this is opening week, so eventually there's a lot of rust, but they will hopefully clean that up. But going forward, Carson Wentz, he has to start next week. I mean, do I trust Nick Foles with my life? No, I don't trust Nick Foles. Yeah, he played, like I said before, he played well in the playoffs. He played well in the Super Bowl, but this is a new season. And he's not consistent. He's Nick Foles. Got sacked twice. And the RPOs, I never cared for the RPOs. I never liked the RPOs because you're throwing 5 yard passes, 2 yard passes. There was a lot of 2 yard passes thrown out there. I mean, it doesn't do anything for me. If you're gonna throw the football, throw it between 8 to 20 yards. If you're gonna throw. DeAndre Carter didn't do much in the game. Like I said, Zach Ertz dropped 3 passes, that could have changed the game if he would have held on to the ball. And I like what the Eagles did at the end of the game. Ran the ball instead of passing because the passing game wasn't working. So they ran the ball. And that last possession where they scored the touchdown and take the lead, Corey Clement with a big run. And then you had Jay Jai running in for the touchdown. That was a huge drive for the Eagles. And they needed that because Atlanta's defense was tired. They weren't getting they were hurting on the field all night. A couple of players from them got hurt, so they took advantage of that. And a lot of analysts didn't give the Eagles a chance to win this game. They said, "Oh, Atlanta's going to blow them out." Even the local media here in Philadelphia said the Eagles were going to get beat. They're going to lose 30-15, 25, 28-10. They didn't give them a chance at all. And I said the Eagles can win this game. It may not be a blowout, but I think they can win this game. And it came down to the final play of the game. And I think the refs try to give this game away. You know, that's what the refs do. They try to give the game away, in my opinion. But Julio Jones made a catch at the end of the game. He was knocked out of bounds. Ronald Dory played a good game. He covered Julio Jones well, but there were a few plays toward that final drive that had me shaking my head, a little bit. Got nervous about it, but they survive, and that's all that matters. They're 1-0, and at the end of the day, a win is a win, a loss is a loss. You can play well, throw for 400 yards, and you still lose. You 0-1, but a win is a win at the end of the day. So I will take the win. There's some things they got to clean up, as usual. I hope Carson Wentz starts next week against Tampa Bay. Alshon Jeffrey, he needs to come back. Hopefully, he'll come back next week, and they will be fine. But there was a couple of plays that Nick Foles threw. He threw 3 passes to Falcon players that could have easily been intercepted. The Falcons dropped 2 of them. The Falcons dropped 2 of them. Can't do that. And that's what scares me about Nick Foles. He'll play well one game, but then the next game he'll be inconsistent. And you can't have that. You can't have inconsistency. You know. But let me read the stats. Matt Ryan was 21 of 43, 251. Devontae Freeman was 6 carries, 36 yards. Tevin Coleman 9 of 19, 9 carries, 19 yards, had a touchdown. Julio Jones 10 carries, 169. And Tevin Coleman had 1 reception for 26 yards. You knew Julio Jones was going to come out and ball. You knew that. But at the end of the day, he's going to get his numbers. He's going to get his 100 yards. He's going to get his catches. You know that. But the thing is, keep him out of the end zone, and that's what they did. They kept him out of the end zone when it mattered. And you'll have a lot of people on media saying, "Well, they got lucky and won this game." Media members will sit there and make excuses. They'll sit there trying to make excuses like, "Oh well, if Atlanta didn't do this, if this wasn't called, they won the game." It wasn't pretty, but they won. And I was prepared to come on here and go off and just be mad, but I can't be mad because they won. But I really think Carson Wentz should start next week because I just don't trust Nick Foles. I just don't trust him. I have nothing against him personally. I just don't trust him because he's inconsistent. And you have to be consistent. You can't have a good game for 2 games and then, he didn't really play well tonight. You know, but he played well enough to win. He managed the game well enough to win. I'm not gonna stay on here too long. I'm about to get off here, but leave a comment in the comment section. Tell me what you think about this game and subscribe to this YouTube.